Pop quiz. What do you do when a person in power becomes corrupt? What's that? Your time is up. Answer? You send in the specialist.
Whoa! Pump your brakes there, James Bond. After your performance in Skyfall, it's got me thinking. Are you taking notes from Kevin McAllister in the Home Alone movies? A few days ago, I watched the movie The Mechanic Resurrection that takes off from the last scenes of the movie. That particular title, back in 2011, was a remake of a movie back in 1972 starring Charles Bronson that shared the same name. Jason Statham's character, Arthur Bishop, takes his late mentor's son, Steven, played by Ben Foster, under his wing to train him to be a mechanic himself.
You know what a mechanic is? A hitman.
A series of betrayals lead up to the end of the movie where Bishop himself has a hit on his head. I'll be honest and say it's a good old-fashioned action movie, so don't expect it to have a super compelling story. There were a lot of plot holes and convenient turns of events, but that didn't stop me from taking away things that I could learn from the movie. The number one lesson to be learned is don't teach everyone all of your tricks. Lesson 2. Practice the art of distraction and misdirection. Lesson 3 is a proverb, the enemy of my enemy is my friend, which actually dates back to the old recorded history of Sanskrit. Lesson 4. Feign the klutz. Teach no one all of your tricks. You essentially want to be like Hinata Shoyu from Haikyuu, where he makes new friends only to learn new special abilities from them and use against his opponents in the future. Or something to overtake your opponent. Practicing the art of misdirection and distraction comes in handy when you're in a tight spot and you need to sneak a key or possibly get a key card from someone. With the third lesson, the enemy of my enemy is my friend, I felt the movie actually neglected to explore a little bit more.
There's no sign of the intruder, Mr. Adams.
That's because he's sitting right in front of me here in the safe room, jack off.
But I thought if they did, it would create more of a compelling story and something that could ramp up the tension at the final scenes of the movie. But that's just movie making. Maybe they ran out of budget, I don't know. With the fourth lesson, Feign the klutz, I refer to an example of Jar Jar Binks. In the movie Star Wars, everyone thinks that Jar Jar Binks is just some klutz who doesn't know what he's doing, but referring to the video Vincent Vendetta, where he explores how Jar Jar Binks is actually more dangerous than the Sith Lord who comes off as an intimidating person. All of those lessons would prove to be useless if it wasn't for his physical prowess. After all, isn't that what we expect of our action heroes? Aside from close quarters combat and weapon use, you see Jason Statham showing his skills doing high-rise free climbs and escaping the clutches of his enemies by doing Olympic diving and swimming throughout the movie. That all got me thinking, would I be able to survive if I stepped into the shoes of Arthur Bishop? I did some research and came up with some training that would prepare someone for just that situation. With high-rise climbing, essentially you want to keep your body as light as possible, but also strong when it comes to your grip and also forearm muscles. You want to train it to be able to handle a lot of the long durations of time climbing and holding positions. Some things you guys may not know is that before all of the acting, Jason himself was training to be an Olympic diver for the English team back in the early 1990s. A lot of the diving training involved keeping his body strength focused on the core, and with that he would keep his body as stiff as possible, but also focus throughout the high-speed rotations and entry into the water. You guys are super awesome to keep watching until the end. I'd really like to know what movies would you guys want me to break down and feature in upcoming Movie Time motivation videos. You guys don't have to like the movie, but hopefully it motivates you to try something new. Maybe it's a movie, maybe it's a new workout. I'm theAbeyantHero, and I'll see you next week on the next Movie Time Motivation.
For all the overachievers, the actor Ben Foster from the first Mechanic movie, you might recall from his early works in the 90s Disney show Flash Forward, has been cast as tragic characters that are often blurring the lines of hero and antagonist. My film theory question is it possible to escape typecasting? Both selections lead to the same destination where you can decide whether or not to subscribe or not, but it'll also let me know what you guys think. And remember, if Senpai doesn't notice you, it's probably because you're an awesome ninja.